Hello, friends. Welcome to yet another episode of Tea Talk or Tea Time with me, Owen Fernandez. I wish you a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever in the world you are. But before I start this episode today, I would like to just share with you the situation and the status of what is happening in the country where I reside. I reside in a very beautiful country called Slovakia, right in the heart of Europe. And if you see this map, I live somewhere here, and we are neighbors to Austria, Czech Republic, Hungary, Poland, and Ukraine. This is the COVID automat, and the inevitable has finally happened. We are from today, this morning at 12 o'clock in the morning, in a complete state of lockdown for the next 2 weeks. Not sure how things will surface. We are restricted. We are told to be at home, not even to go to malls, just the essential shoppings, and that's all. Not sure how I will come to the office and do this streaming, but I'll try my level best. I just wanted to give you a status. The entire country, as you can see, is almost black on the COVID automat, which means to say that we are facing huge difficulties, huge challenges. People are dying, the hospitals and the hospital staff are completely overwhelmed. So, if you believe in prayers, if you believe in sending good vibes, just remember my country and, of course, the countries in Europe that are facing the devastation of the third COVID wave. It's been a long time, friends. COVID is not out of our radar completely. I do not know how long will it take, but we all live on faith and hope. So this was the status as I start. So welcome. Our topic for today is how to stop people pleasing. Now, for those who do not know what people pleasing is, people pleasers are known for doing whatever it takes to make other people happy. So, in essence, they believe that they are doing something good, but all that isn't or may not be rosy. Now, I do understand while being kind and helpful is generally a good thing, going too far to please others can leave you feeling emotionally drained, emotionally depleted. It can also cause stress and anxiety. So, if you are someone that goes out of the way for somebody else, and many a times you are more than willing to step up for the sole reason that people would feel bad if you didn't do that, then, friends, you qualify to be a people pleaser. Now, let me share something from my life in the past. Would you believe that I too was a victim to people pleasing very early in my life? I blamed the system, my cultural upbringing, the country where I was born and brought up, my circumstances, and the environment even though, friends, I always had a choice not to do that. I was told that it is a part and parcel of being or showing primary decency, even when the situation warranted a tough reply. So, when I was frustrated and not being able to come out of it, and with no one to seek counsel or even to share my inner turmoil at times, I took the extreme step of becoming a rebel. Now, watching me now, you will say, "Hey, Owen, you have just conjured up the story." Friends, it's true. What I'm saying, it's true. You have to believe me. And the sad part of it is that in the process of people pleasing, I never even knew that I was doing so. Now, friends, you don't need to do that. You don't need to go from one extreme to the other. You can always stay in the middle, and that's basically a good ground to start with. So while I know that sometimes you need to please people for a particular cause, not because you're afraid or you fear what's going to happen if you don't do that. So friends, in this episode, I will share with you what are the effects or the impacts of being a people pleaser to yourself. And I will try to share four ways of stopping the behavior of people pleasing. So if you are on the call for the very first time, welcome. Grab a cup of tea or coffee, take a comfortable seat, relax as we go deeper into episode number 60, How to Stop People Pleasing. Please let me know in the chat box from where you are watching from. And if you would like to chat with me while I stream online, please be free. So let's get started. I see a good friend of mine. Of course, I haven't met her. Her name is Barbara M. Littles. Wonderful. Barbara, good to see you on the call. I hope all things are fine in the US. And as usual, a good friend of mine, Peter, is always on the call. So, friends, let's get started. Now, as usual, I normally like to pick up quotes from famous personalities. And I'm not sure how many on the on the show right now or while I'm streaming know this gentleman. And for those who do not know this gentleman, his name is Ed Sheeran. He is an English singer songwriter, an extremely popular personality with the younger generation. In fact, Sheeran sang at a local church choir at the age of 4. Can you believe that? Raw talent, a prodigy. He learned how to play the guitar at the age of 11. And by the time he was in high school, he already began writing songs. Extremely talented person. In fact, Sharon has sold more than 150 million records worldwide, making him one of the world's best selling music artists. In fact, two of his albums are in the list of the best selling albums in UK chart history. Ed Sheeran said, and I quote, "I can't tell you the key to success, but the key to failure is trying to please everyone." Now, let me repeat this for you. He says, "I can't tell you the key to success, but the key to failure is trying to please everyone." When I picked up this quote, I myself was surprised that there are so many people who are trying to be who they are not. And there could be various reasons for it. Now, friends, if you are a people pleaser, let me tell you that there are downsides to it. I do understand the word. It all sounds rosy and good. But there are certain flip side to it, and I would like to share three of those flip sides. The first one is if you are a people pleaser, you will find yourself unable to enjoy yourself, inability to enjoy yourself. The stress from constant people pleasing, friends, can make it hard to enjoy simple pleasures like going out for an ice cream, or watching your favorite TV show. Now, if you are born in a crowded city like I was, you are definitely bound to bump into certain people that you know. So be aware of the fact that you are important, you are valued, you are unique, and you need to keep certain aspects of your self, of your identity with you. Committing yourself to a lot of different things can make it hard for you to wind down and relax because of the constant stress. So if you are in a constant people pleasing mode, you can lose sight of who you are. In fact, you may have no idea of what truly makes you happy. Friends, people pleasers may spend so much time trying to please others that they don't know what to do with themselves. So, constant people pleasing behavior can lead to an inability to enjoy yourself. Make a note of that. The second side effects of being a people pleaser is you start building up resentment. You may find yourself bottling up anger because you feel that people take advantage of you. And this is exactly what happened when I was growing up. You may feel that people are taking undue advantage of you. And I was one among the four siblings. So there could be a tendency that sometimes in the name of whatever you can call it, okay, people ask you to do certain things, and in an effort to please them, because you just can't say no for whatever reason it is. And in my case, it was the social pressure. In my case, it was the family pressure. Suddenly you find yourself bottling up anger. Now that can lead you to make passive aggressive comments and show other signs of your frustration. You have to vent it out at some point of time, and that caused me to run away. In fact, you may start pulling away from people instead of letting them know what's going on and working to improve the situation. So bear that in mind. So if you are a people pleaser trying to please people for whatever reason, there could be a level of frustration building up inside you. And just like a pressure cooker, one day it might blow off, and that would be too late. And the third side effect of being a people pleaser is lack of self care. Now, friends, if you're constantly devoting yourself to meeting the needs and demands of others, it can cause you to neglect your own. You may find yourself getting sick or mentally burnt out from the pressure of trying to please everyone. So think about it. If you fall in the category of people pleaser, there is a high possibility that you would not give priority to yourself. There would be lack of self care. There could be a built up resentment, some anger and frustration being built up because of the fact that you're not doing something that you would normally like to do. And of course, in that process, you will be unable to enjoy yourself. I see a good friend of mine, Pratik, on the call. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, as I said at the start of the call, I'm going to share with you four ways to stop people pleasing. Now, when I'm talking about this, trust me that you should stop people pleasing without feeling guilty, without feeling anxious, or without stressed out, because you mean a lot. You are important. You have got to give first preference to yourself. So, in order to stop the behavior of people pleasing, just in case if you find yourself as a people pleaser, is you need to be self aware. Friends, awareness is often the first step towards change. If anything needs to change, you need to be aware of what needs to be changed. When we invite our thoughts and feelings into awareness, we then get the opportunity to learn from them instead of unconsciously reacting to them. When we increase our awareness of reality, we are then willing to encounter our personal truths. You're not called to please everybody. You're not called to do anything without thinking, without responding, rather than just reacting. And self awareness, as I have mentioned time again in all the previous episodes, in most of the previous episodes that we have gone through, is the starting point to any transformation, to any change of behavior, to any change in habits. It's the first step towards change. So be self aware, look at around your surroundings, don't just react. You have a choice. You have a choice. The second way that I would like to share when it comes to stop being a people pleaser is set boundaries, establish firm areas. It is important, friends, to know your limits. It is important to establish clear boundaries. And then, once you do that with a level of self awareness, try to communicate those limits to people that are expecting that you would normally react to please them. Communicate those limits very clearly. Be clear and specific about what you are willing to take on and what you would refrain from. Now, just in case, if it seems like someone is asking too much from you, which ultimately would lead to abuse, let them know that it's over the permissible bounds and boundaries of what you're willing to do, and that you won't be able to help them. And while mentioning this, try to do it as politely as possible, but at the same time, being firm. Now, initially, you may face the feeling of guilt, but let me assure you this, friends. Over a period of time, you'll accept the fact that it's all in your head. The feeling of guilt is all in your head. Think about it. Establish clear boundaries. Put yourself first. Now, when I say put yourself first, I'm talking about not giving anybody an opportunity to just use you because or whatever. You may have a kind heart, you may love to serve others, you may love to help others. But how do you know that somebody is using that for their personal gains? So first be aware, set boundaries, establish certain limits, and communicate those limits in a very polite manner rather than just reacting and trying to please people. The third way that I would like to share with you in order to stop being a people pleaser is create affirmations. Now, friends, we have talked about the power of affirmations in the past, and this time I'm talking about positive affirmation. Make it a mantra kind of a thing. Use an empowering statement, a positive affirmation, and put it somewhere right in front of your eyes that you can often see. Maybe in the bathroom mirror or something, maybe as a background image to your phone, and then keep on repeating it. Now, let me give you some examples of what exactly these positive affirmations could look like, or could sound like, or could see like when it comes to stop people pleasing. Like, for example, it is okay for me to say no when I sincerely can't do certain things for some people. Or, no is a complete sentence, end of story, period. Or something like that. A no to them is a yes to me. Or, not today. Today is for myself, not my circus, not my monkeys. Or something like that, an affirmation statement, something like that. I don't have to explain myself to anyone. I'm a free person and I want to do what I want to do. Or another affirmation could sound like, I am the guardian of my time and I'm responsible what I do with it. Think about it. Oh, I have got a friend of mine called Bina Jacob. I think so. She's from Dubai. Welcome, Bina. Welcome. So, friends, be self aware, set certain limits, set certain boundaries, and communicate politely to the person that appears to be using you for whatever reason, or in fact, you would go beyond a certain level in order to please them. Create affirmations saying that it's okay to say no at times. It is okay to put yourself first. It is okay not to explain to everybody what you intend to do. And finally, if you are a serial people pleaser like I was when I was growing up, this change would expect or require a lot from you. So start small. Start small. Small incremental steps would give you the confidence, and over a period of time, you will find yourself a total different person, a balanced person, not falling and not doing excessively to please people, and at the same time, not being rude enough or showing up as selfish not to help people. Balance is the key. Start small. Friends, it can be hard to make a sudden big change in your behavior because changing behavioral patterns is difficult, and that's a fact. So consider changing from being a people pleaser to not being one in small incremental steps, in small ways. Start by saying no to smaller requests. Try expressing your opinion about something small or ask for something that you need. So if you want to say no to some person who has requested something from you over a telephone call, try texting them by saying no, sorry, I can't do this for you today. So if you are having a complex of confronting them or saying them right into their face, start small by texting them and then work your way up to telling them a firm no in person, if at all the request is directly face to face in the physical. Practice this in different settings and in different situations. Sometimes it's very difficult to even say no to a person on the street who is, of course, in a difficult situation, but having a good body to find work for himself. So sometimes the heart takes over the mind, and it's very difficult, to judge whether, can I not. But then people are always on the lookout for the matter that they are aware of what they can get from a person who is always a people pleaser. Say no to salespeople when you don't want to buy something from them, irrespective of whatever their request or whatever their manipulation techniques could be. Sometimes people come and offer you a lot many things, or even there could be a temptation that somebody could push something to you to eat, even if at all you do not like that thing. You can say no, and you can say that politely. You can even do that with dealing with people at the restaurant, in the offices, at your workplace, with co-workers. Peter Bordard says, know your value and what you are worth as a human being. Spot on, Peter. I totally agree with you. I have another friend of mine called Peter Bench. Good to see you, Peter. Thanks for showing up. So, friends, these are the four simple techniques. And I know when I say simple, you've got to put it into practice. And it will take some period of time for you to move from being a people pleaser to somebody who uses balance when it comes to people and their request. Be self aware, set certain boundaries, communicate precisely the limits, what you can do. Don't be afraid to say no. Create affirmations. Give preference to yourself. You are important. You are valued. It's not good for anybody to abuse you in any way. And finally, start small if you have been a people pleaser for a long period of time. So, friends, in closing, I have this to say: look for patterns in your people pleasing behavior. And if you see the gentleman on the screen, his name is Paulo Coelho de Souza, a Brazilian lyricist and a novelist, famous for his work called The Alchemist. He says that when you say yes to others, make sure you aren't saying no to yourself. However good soul you might be, people can take advantage of that if you're not aware. And trust me, not all of them would use you the way you would like you to be respected. So when you say yes to others, make sure that you aren't saying no to yourself. Look for patterns in your people pleasing behavior. Strike a balance. There may be people that you feel more of a compulsion to try and satisfy, as it was in my case with my family members and my relatives, and in the people in the vicinity, in the locality where I grew up. Remember this: your actions may be a way to recover from the hurt they caused you in the past or for whatever reason. So start recognizing your limits. Start putting some sort of importance to yourself by placing boundaries around how you spend your time and with whom. Think about how much leverage or bandwidth you really have before making commitments. Try to expend your energy only on those things that align with your values and make you feel good. Don't just go out of the way to please others. For all you know, they may not even care about you. They may not even care about your situation. They may not even know about your challenges, your personal struggles, your time issues. So look out for patterns in your people pleasing behavior. Thanks for watching. Friends, you will find the references of what has been shared in this episode at the end of this talk. Feel free to use them further for your personal growth and development. Also, I would like to tell you that just in case if you feel like reaching out to me by sharing your challenges, or if you feel that you are stuck, or if you feel that this particular time of COVID is overwhelming to you and your family, and if you have got nobody to reach out to, friends, I invite you to connect with me for a no obligatory exploratory call. I'm ready to give you 30 minutes of my time to hear you out and see if we could do something together. You're free to contact me. Just write to me a mail at owen@owenfernandez.com. And friends, if you liked this episode, please comment and share. Also, you could go to my YouTube channel where all the 59 previous episodes are lined up for your viewing. Pick up anything that can resonate with you. Pick up anything that falls in the area that you might need to get a little different perspective. My work and the reason that I'm coming out in front of you every Tuesday and Thursday is to just pick up some things that I read on internet, bring it together for your good. Remember, the win is always within you. I, Owen Fernandez, am here to help you be victorious. I believe in you, and together we can. So stay safe. See you on the next episode on Tea Time with Owen. Bye for now.